Good afternoon and welcome to Match of the Day, in which you'll see Graham Taylor's precocious and successful lads from Watford tested to the full against the relentless and traditional all-round strength of Bob Paisley's Liverpool at Anfield. There's also Brighton, managerless but pledged to attack against last week's conquerors of Liverpool, Norwich City. And finally a look at Boston United's threat to knock Sheffield United out of the FA Cup.
Today's headlines: Aston Villa failed to become the World Club champions, a sad sequel to Worcester's famous FA Cup win, and was the proposed signing of George Best the reason David Webb was sacked by Bournemouth?
So it's time for the match everyone wanted to see this week between Liverpool and Watford. Liverpool no doubt smarting after last week's defeat at Norwich, and Watford smarting from the disparaging remarks about their style of play. Either way, it promised flat-out action, and that's just what we saw. Your commentator, Alan Parry.
For Watford, the supreme moment has arrived. A Watford team runs out for a league game at Anfield for the first time in the club's 91-year history. It's a great day for so many people connected with Watford. Manager Graham Taylor, who's led the club from the 4th division to the summit of the 1st. Captain Pat Rice, one of the few visiting players to have figured on the winning side here no fewer than 3 times. That, of course, in his Arsenal days. And Chairman Elton John, who comes face to face with the Kop. Different singing styles and a different style of dress, certainly, but they share a genuine love of football. This is the team who just might spoil Watford's big day. League leaders, favourites to win their 14th championship, and defending an unbeaten record at Anfield, which stretches back 9 months. Liverpool forced to make a change today. Mark Lawrenson is injured and is replaced by Ronnie Whelan, who returns after missing 7 games with a knee problem. The Watford team, which has done so well in its first season of First Division football, go with a style of play which has attracted many critics. It's their usual lineup, but there is a new name at number 12. Richard Jobson, just 19, and signed from non-league Burton Albion only 6 weeks ago. Referee Bert Newsom satisfied with the Anfield pitch, even though heavy rain this week caused a midweek reserve game to be abandoned. And the heavy conditions may well suit Watford's long ball style, as Liverpool in the red shirts attacking the goal to our right get us underway. Watford in a change strip of white shirts, and an early moment of anxiety for Ian Bolton, but allowing the ball to pass safely behind for a goal kick. Big and noisy crowd. Liverpool confident of one of their biggest gates of the season. Thompson beating Jenkins. Bolton again for Watford. And Thompson once again in before the visiting number 9. Here's Dalglish. Jacket working back so well to deny him. And another up and under by Sherwood. Souness came out with the ball so brilliantly. Lee. Dalglish. Lee again. Whelan in a good position here. Spotted by Dalglish, and on for Johnston. Superb move. Can he finish? Good save by Sherwood. A typical flowing Liverpool movement. 3 players involved, and the final superb through ball saw Johnston denied by the goalkeeper. So a corner it is. Dalglish making room for himself so well. Johnston takes over. Goal kick. Craig Johnston, a lively handful for any defence, as he has proved in the final 30 seconds of that movement. Callahan. Kennedy's clearance. Watford's throw. Alan Kennedy. Souness for Liverpool. Whelan. Comes again to Whelan. Dalglish with Kennedy on the outside, but he goes alone. Tremendous effort by Dalglish. Chose to cut in field rather than find Alan Kennedy. And the right foot shot only just wide. And Elton John and Graham Taylor, chairman and manager, enjoying, I'm sure, this great occasion. Hansen's header. Dalglish, we have to go alone here, but Lee arrives in support. Souness. A sweetly struck shot by Graham Souness. Lee feeding him from the inside right position. And he met it first time, the ball swinging just wide, and Sherwood relieved. Sammy Lee with the ideal through ball. Thompson. Hansen. Dalglish. This is Johnston. And that was Rice. Neal's clearance to Dalglish. Beautiful turn. Oh, and on for Rush. What a perfect through ball. And what a brilliant goal. Ian Rush celebrates the goal, but Kenny Dalglish, the creator supreme. He turned away from the defender and fed the perfect through ball. Ian Rush smacked home his 16th goal of the season. The Cops celebrate the scoreline. 22 minutes gone. Liverpool 1, Watford 0. Dalglish and Rush do it again. A beautifully simple goal that Watford themselves will have appreciated. Rush, a lethal finisher, and Dalglish, a positive playmaker then. So now Watford's supreme moment has turned into their supreme test. And here's Taylor. Good effort. Taylor spotting Grobbelaar slightly off his line perhaps. Trying that long-range shot, just over. Rice. Callahan. Straight to Kennedy. And a good ball for Rush. Souness. Dalglish. The names just roll off the tongue really as Liverpool flow forward again. Kennedy. Johnston. Good interception by Jacket. Jenkins. Hansen right behind him. And the free kick in fact given for Jenkins leading into the Liverpool player. Whelan. Now Souness. Oh, a very sloppy ball by Souness. Kennedy beating Blissett. Went off the Watford player, so it's Liverpool's throw. Dalglish turned away, Rush helped him, and a lovely return ball as the 1-2 worked again. Penalty. It had to be. Rush and Dalglish combining superbly again. This time it was Rush who played the through ball, and as Dalglish set off for goal, the chip was quite clear and quite blatant. And referee Newsom had no doubts about the award of a penalty. So Phil Neal, who's already scored twice from the spot this season, will test Steve Sherwood to the full. Slippy goalmouth, of course, which won't help Neal. Or Sherwood, for that matter. 2-0. 34 minutes gone, and a sweetly struck right foot penalty by Phil Neal extends the Liverpool lead, and it's worth noting that very, very few teams over the years have been 2 down at Anfield and come back to win or even salvage a point. Liverpool 2, Watford 0. Not at all the first half that Watford had dreamed of. Bolton's clearance. Neil headed it on. Jenkins. Straight to Souness, though. Barnes leaving it, and that was a mistake. Rush. Brought down right in front of the referee by Sims. Well, not really enjoying the taunts of the cop, and certainly not enjoying the scoreline by the looks of it. Lee. Souness. Dalglish. Brilliant. And so close to a second goal for Phil Neal. The speed and accuracy of Liverpool summed up in that movement. The final through ball played by Dalglish. Neal was a foot away from scoring again. Hansen winning it. This is Rice. Souness. Oh, beautiful stuff. Lee. Dalglish. Neal. Watford have no answer at the moment. Dalglish left it. Got it back again. And another good ball to Souness. And here's Rush. Whelan with the shot. Now Kennedy. Oh, Rush. Well, like Neil earlier, Ian Rush was about a foot away from stabbing the ball home. It went off a Watford player, and Liverpool have a corner. Lee with the kick. Whelan. Nearly an own goal by Rostrom. Liverpool players claiming that Rostrom handled the ball then, but I must say, it seemed to me anyway that it went off the side of his body, but the referee, in consultation with the Liverpool players, has indeed given a penalty, it seems. Confusion amongst the players and the crowd. So, when that shot came in, Rostrom went for it. Did it hit the side of his body? Did it hit his hand? The referee says it hit his hand. So, Mr. Newsom gives the second penalty of the first half, and Neal faces Sherwood again. And beats him again, in exactly the same spot. 2 minutes to half-time. Phil Neal gets his second penalty of the game, and Wilf Rostrom, the unfortunate player, to concede it. Neal again striking it right-footed, same side of the goal. Sherwood beaten again. Liverpool 3, Watford 0. Well, Watford, I think, had no complaints about the first penalty, and it'll be interesting to see in slow motion just whether that second penalty was equally authentic. Goal kick. Seemed for a moment in that incident that Bert Newsom hadn't given the award. The referee brings to an end an outstanding first half. Watford having no answer to Liverpool at their supreme best. Watford may argue Liverpool were lucky in that they had 2 penalties, both immaculately converted by Phil Neal before this man, Ian Rush, had given Liverpool a fine start with that early goal. Watford have got some hard talking to do in the dressing room at half-time, but they proved this season that they never finished. Liverpool 3, Watford 0. Paul Wilf Rostrom, the Watford left-back, who's conceded 2 penalties to give Watford what seems an impossible job in this second half. Watford really finding it difficult to play their normal game simply because they can't get the ball back off Liverpool often enough. So Watford attacking the Kop end and needing Really nothing short of a miracle to salvage something from this. Souness, Whelan, and Callaghan adjudged to have come in a little bit late as he challenged Whelan then. Kennedy with the free kick. Dalglish, beaten by Sims. Callaghan on, Blissett chasing, Hansen in first. Rostron beating Rush. Offside had already been given, actually, for Kenny Dalglish having straight forward. He can't understand why, but I think he was. Callaghan won that. Jenkins, Taylor, and now Rice. Callaghan's got away here, and plenty waiting for him in the middle. Jenkins! Oh, how did it stay out? Rostron! And it goes in the end, and who would deny Wolf Rostron his celebrations? Having given away 2 penalties, I'm sure even Liverpool would have some sympathy and say if anybody deserved to get on the score sheet, it's him. He hit the left-footed shot as Callaghan started the move way over on the right. It may have gone in off another body on the way, but surely we can say, with Christmas coming up, Wolf Rostron deserves the credit for that goal. 54 minutes gone then. Liverpool 3, Watford 1. And Wolf Rostron will feel a little bit better now about his visit to Anfield. And Watford will now feel that they're back in the game to some extent. But Liverpool seem able to score almost at will sometimes. But the Watford fans are getting behind their team now. That goal's made a match of this. And Grobbelaar indulging in rather dangerous antics. Sims header, good one. Callaghan on to Blissett. Getting the ball forward much quicker in the second half, Watford, and it's beginning to pay dividends, but Liverpool's still so dangerous. Callaghan, though, he's onside. Taylor against Grobbelaar. How well Grobbelaar did. He's made his mistakes in this game, the Liverpool goalkeeper, but the speed of his dash from his goal line then thwarted Taylor when a goal seemed a possibility. Liverpool defender Phil Thompson injured. Looks as though there are problems here for Liverpool's Phil Thompson, and obviously Bobby Robson will be anxious too. Thompson very much a part of England's plans for their match against Luxembourg. Let's hope that's not a serious injury. Liverpool as yet not electing to use their substitute. Rush. Whelan beaten by Callaghan. Rice forward. Sims, a good ball. Barnes. Into Blissett. Grobbelaar saves. And Blissett pokes the rebound wide, but it got a deflection off the goalkeeper. That's a corner. Sims with a glorious ball out to Barnes on the left. The cross was good. Blissett seemed to have beaten Grobbelaar, not once, but twice, but was denied. So Watford corner, the outcome. Jenkins getting up. Goal kick. Callaghan. And Thompson has come back onto the field with heavy strapping around his right ankle. The long kick aimed this time at Blissett. Jenkins winning it. Here's Barnes. Clean across virtually empty goalmouth. Thompson still struggling with that injury, and I don't think he'll be able to continue for much longer. Indeed, that's what he seems to be signalling to the Liverpool bench. So Thompson hobbles off, clearly in pain. And that's not only bad news for Liverpool, but also for England. So midway through the second half, old super sub himself, David Fairclough, comes on, and Liverpool will obviously play him forward with Sammy Lee slotting it at right back and Phil Neal in Thompson's position. And that, of course, disrupting the Liverpool back four and giving Watford another faint hope that they could still get back into this game. Sims. Kennedy, straight to Blissett. Jenkins. And Kennedy made up for his error. Dalglish. Given straight to Callahan. Watford's growing belief in themselves, causing some problems now for Liverpool. Here's Barnes. Good effort against the bar. Barnes really coming into it in this second half. Took on the stand-in right back Sammy Lee, cut inside and hit the shot against the Liverpool crossbar. Rostrom. Liverpool marking tightly. Sammy Lee doing a good job as a stand-in number two. Here's Bolton. Shot hit his own player then, I think. He can try again, can he? No, Kennedy! Really making Grobbelaar stretch. It's as well Alan Kennedy didn't get any more weight behind that back pass, because Grobbelaar might have been struggling to reach it. He did well. Bob Paisley with a look of satisfaction with a minute remaining. His team surely on the way to another win. So Jacket with the long throw. Can Watford produce a goal yet? Lee clear. Rice under pressure from Rush. A Liverpool throw then, and we're well into time added on for stoppages now. Fairclough back, but couldn't find Johnston, and that indeed is the final whistle. So Watford's first ever league visit to Anfield ends in defeat.
Well, Liverpool quite magnificent in the first half, and Watford deserved the utmost praise too for, despite one unlucky penalty, clawing their way back into a game in which they looked to be dead and buried. Never mind their tactics, that spirit will always serve them well. But it was an inspired performance by Kenny Dalglish in that first half that gave Liverpool an extra dimension even for them. Phil Neal on the ball here, he's the one that nearly got a hat-trick as a result of Kenny Dalglish's efforts, helped by himself, of course. But you can see here Kenny Dalglish wanting the ball from Lee. He was jacking the box all over the place in that first half. He's played it there, he's looking for it again, making the space, leaving his opponent struggling. And look how well he does that there with that neat turn. 3 or 4 yards away, and there's an open invitation for Phil Neal to put it in the net, and you can see his annoyance there that he couldn't quite take advantage of that perfect opportunity. But now look at his technique of turning. Young players do well to note this from a throw-in. See the way he feints, turns, shrugs the man off, hits him. You've got to be prepared to stand up. But he's still going for the return pass there. And that's a position he's been in for many, many years now, in numerous games. No question about it being a penalty, and that gave Phil Neal another chance to score. But the last instant, the most interesting of the lot. Just watch here from that Sherwood clearance. Phil Neal's header directed towards Dalglish, and see what he makes of it. A feint again, turn off the outside of the foot, and he's left his defender there 5 yards struggling. And the perfectly paced ball across the rush, it could be missed from there, but it really was a delightful pass to give him the opportunity to score. But just in finishing, let's look from the normal angle at that move, because it's an interesting tactical comparison. Sherwood hits the ball up here. Normally, under those conditions, Watford midfield players push up on the ball like that. They push up on a long ball to try and get the drop. But here, that header of Neal's, not a short ball by any means. It beats 1, 2, 3, 4 white shirts you can see beaten by that pass. Dalglish's very deft turn beats the 5th one, and the pass coming up beats the 6th Watford defender. Now, if that isn't direct football, I don't know what is, and it was Liverpool giving them some of their own medicine. A revitalised Kenny Dalglish, and this season he's bounced back fresh as a daisy following a disappointing World Cup, which is great news for Jockstein, and also perhaps for those who argue that our domestic competitions plus Europe run the legs off our most talented players.